shenanigans, or are we going to see some standard games?
Well, Harstem is now down a game, but you have to keep in mind it's not as much of a desperate situation as it could be.
Yep.
Because there's a losers bracket. You're not out of the tournament completely, so we might not see a desperation move if Harstem was ever planning on going something weird like that. Something that I wanted to point out, we do still have one foreigner left from Sweden, of course, in this tournament, in the loser bracket. He will be playing the winner of Mel versus Darko Micron, which is going to be the semifinals of the losers bracket.
Yep, it will. So, Lolin, why don't you take it away? Introduce these two players.
I would love to, Medals. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that the Dutch StarCraft League flew you all the way over here, and you're here to cast with me in my hometown, on my home turf. Now I can tell you things that you don't know and let you say weird things on stream. Anyway, oh, that's a really nice reference that Red's making there in the chat. He's saying a very popular Dutch talk show that airs every night during weekdays. They actually played a show match there, where Harstem was going for an Immortal Sentry all-in,
yep,
and Red was defending against the Sentry Immortal all-in, and
so basically what we saw in Game 1, pretty much.
Yeah, yep, that's why he says it's a rematch compared to the game we played at De Wereld Draait Door, which is a talk show that everyone here will know. Anyway, the introductions have been a little bit delayed, but therefore your cheers should not be less hard. In the top right spawn position, playing for Team Liquid, playing in red, our Zerg player. He is currently up a game. It's LiquidRet. But in the bottom left, we've got the player who really needs your cheers. He is down a game in the loser bracket finals. He is one game away from going down to the losers bracket where he doesn't want to be. He wants to tie the series up and go to an ace match. Give a cheer for FnaticHarstem.
So, last game, we sat there and we were like, Harstem, not going for a gateway expand on Belgier. What's up with today and there not being gateway expansions?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? Well, guess what? We got one. Ah, this is good. So now we get to talk all about the funds of gateway expands. And I'm going to hand that over to you because you like your gateway expands.
Who does?
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
I like my gateway expands. I also like it when I see other players doing it. I think it's slowly becoming the standard in the matchup.
Yep.
It could be too early to tell. There's still maps where it's really good and you should do it and it's probably better. But we see it more and more in super high level play to just go for the gateway expand. It allows you to have more options. You could hit earlier timings because you don't invest in the forge. Your cybercore is so much earlier, giving you an earlier warp gate research. And it is definitely worth noting that we see a zealot into a sentry right now by Harstem. So no super early Stargate into a Nexus or something.
Well, we'll wait to see whether your wish does come true, your prediction occurs. But for the moment, Red, he's not got his third. This is in direct response to seeing that his Overlord went in, he knows the Nexus
timing. Yeah, you cannot do that.
You don't want to get your third done early. And that may seem obvious to some of you who play the game lots, who play Zerg, you might be like, well, of course you don't get your patchery early, but the important thing is that all you want to do is stay a base up. Red's third base needs to be hitting roughly in the next sort of 2 minutes. That's when he ideally wants to be getting out, unless he goes for something super aggressive. But he's not. He's going to go for something super greedy economically. He's going to grab his third base super quick. So this is relatively early.
You can do this.
You can. It's fine. When you
he has seen the Nexus now, but when you see a gateway expand, there's always the possibility of the Protoss player not expanding at all, or
the only trouble you get from this is see the Mothership Core about to come into the third base of Red. This is the problem with it, is that you can get a little bit of aggression. If a Zealot and a Stalker came with that, it's frustrating. You can be forced to make quite a few Zerglings, but this isn't going to be a big problem. A Mothership Core doesn't deal enough DPS to really threaten this hatchery on its own. A Queen can waddle its way down and come say, no, Mothership Core, go home. And that's all fine. Meanwhile, we've got more gateways on the way and the Forge. So it's not the typical delayed 4-gate pressure that we often see from a gateway expand. It's just kind of going up to 3 gates with the Forge, which is a more mid and later game stage way of playing it. If we saw 3 gateways there, we could straight away go, okay, Harstem's going to try and push into that third with his Mothership Core and 4 gates of pressure, which is a really strong build.
Would have been a good build against Red's build. I mean, grabbing a third base early like this does mean your unit count's going to be low. A third base that has no spine crawlers at it because the creep spread there is going to be delayed. Your natural, you can get a spine up, but that your third you will not be able to. He could have been hit hitting Red right now with 4 gateways worth of units near his third base, and it isn't even done yet. His warp gateways are just now done. But like you said, Harstem playing a plan for the later stages. He's got a Forge, will be getting upgrades. Red, on the other hand, he's expecting something, or he's planning something. He's getting a Roach Warren.
Yeah, it's not too unusual seeing that Roach on there, because there is this 3-gate pressure going to be coming in. It's the Mothership core is going to come and poke with it. It's the option for mass recall, a good amount of energy. So you do need the Roaches out to help defend this, because if you just get Zerglings, it'll be a problem. But notice once more, Red, he's delaying this push. He's just buying himself more time. He's like, I want these 7 Roaches out, maybe even more to hold this off. I'm just going to buy myself a little bit more time. I'm going to poke you, prod you with these lings, and you'll have to deal with them.
And this used to be almost impossible to do. This used to be a big risk when you moved out with this many sentries and only a single Zealot. If you got a Zergling surrounded in the middle of the map, if your opponent just randomly made 20 lings, you'd die and you'd lose. But with the Mothership core there, you can recall. Of course, you've got force fields available, so there's literally no risk in what Harstem's doing. He can just recall out of here, and he's going to be fine. He's going to choose to take this engagement for a little bit, though. Is going to have to be careful not to lose any sentries. Does have many more force fields at his disposal. Is going to warp in a Stalker on the high ground, so he might want to force field here and take some Roaches out.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. He does get some force fields down. A couple of Roaches are trapped though. He's got to be so cautious to make this cost effective though. And he's doing a good job of that. These additional Stalkers that just warped in really helping, but he's killed a few Roaches, knows the force fields are about to die, gets out safely. And that's the important thing, is you want to make sure that every engagement you do with this are safe. The Overlord will get picked off. Transitioning on from this, the Robotics Facility just completing, and the Twilight Council just starting, +1 also soon to kick in. Red, he's starting up his first Evolution Chamber, and he's also getting his lair down. He's only been running on a couple of gas so far. He's just really starting to ramp up his production. His drone count, still not up to the saturation we usually see. Only at 60 at the moment. Should go for a couple of big waves, getting to the 70-80 mark. And the reason it's lower is just due to the aggression that Harstem put on. He had to get a couple of Roaches and Zerglings out.
Yeah, Red could go to 70, 80 drones, because he's the king of drones.
Yep.
He plays the game of drones, but he doesn't need to. Harstem's on 2 bases. Actually, what Red needs to focus on is on unit production right now, because once again, we see Harstem getting 2 additional gateways. He's going to be going up to 6 now, but he's also going to be grabbing his expansion here, it looks like. This Colossi tech is going to be late. Spire gets started up for Red in a proxy location. He's trying to hide this as best as he can.
He is, and it's a really good hide as well. This third base, okay, the fact there's a lot of Roaches and Zerglings out on the field, more in production. This is going to allow Red the possibility to cancel that third. If he's able to secure that, then guess what? He's taking his 4th base. He's going to get 2 bases up on his opponent and be in a nice spot. He's taking out the rocks just to make sure force fields are less effective. More are going to be needed. This is all really intelligent play by the Zerg. Harstem, if he secures his third though, the saying goes, 3-base Protoss can do whatever they want to, and it really is true. He can get out so many units, so much tech, that it can run into some problems, but it's this Spire. That's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah, me too. I think he wants to go ahead and transition into Mutas here. He hasn't spent that much gas in the last couple of minutes. He did get Clio Reconstitution started for his Roaches, and he did make quite a bit of them, but as of then, he stopped spending any gas. He's now on 1,050 gas already, and that's going to keep on skyrocketing for a little bit more. He will be able to produce about 10 to 11 Mutas right now if he wants to. Is it going to be the Roaches, or is that Spire just in case he saw Colossus? And yes, it's going to be Mutas. There they come. 6 on the production tab, and Harstem luckily does have Blink and +2.
He does. Blink Stalkers are okay at dealing with Mutalists short term. Long term, not so great because of their health regeneration. As soon as Harstem sees this, he's got the choice. Do I throw down a Stargate and start Phoenix production? Do I think Red is going to hugely commit to this? And he's got 15 Mutas out. He is making a big commitment with +1 as well. Harstem needs to get Phoenix. Otherwise, he will run into problems.
Has he seen the Spire? Yes, he has seen the Spire.
Oh, look at this to the third base. Good force fields there. Okay, this is good at the moment for Harstem. He's really separated up the army. There was a small gap around the side, but with Photon Overcharge, with these Immortals in here, he's really cleaning this up quite nicely. More force fields are going to go down, backing away. The Mutas, though, coming into the main base. This is what Harstem wasn't expecting. Warping in some Stalkers, trying to engage it, but there's a lot of Mutalists here.
There is a lot of Mutas, and they're starting to take out Stalker after Stalker. More Stalkers being warped into cannons, being dropped down in preparation to make that defense work. Harstem, he has to go back here. Those mutas getting quite high in number, and they're chasing down the Stalkers. There's only one cannon here. Probes could fall. The Mothership Core, oh, what are you doing there? That's not a good position for you to be in.
Up at the third base as well, Lurley, and we can see that is getting sieged by the Roaches and the Zones. Red looking really good here. He is going to be able to knock out this third base. He's just going to focus, ignore the Immortal and Sentries that are attacking. If that third Nexus goes down, he's 2 bases up. Meanwhile, the Mutas still engaging in the main base, not trading that well with the Guardian Shield and the Photon Cannons. But still, his aim there was to get rid of the third, and he succeeded in it.
Yeah, he succeeded in it. Red is monstrously far ahead right now. He's got 5 bases, he's got 4 bases worth of gas mining, soon to be 5 bases worth of gas mining. He is going to be able to just keep on hitting that T key to produce those mutas, and he will just be able to overwhelm his opponent. That's exactly what we see happening right now. The Stalkers are going down for Harstem, going down to 90 supplies. Some units from his main base are coming over, but Stalker after Stalker is falling. No third base. Red is actually going to head on engage this because there's only 4 sentries and a Stalker. GG gets caught by Harstem. Red does it.
Well, there we go. 2-0. And we have our first finalist.
We have our first finalist. Give him another big round of applause now that he can actually hear you. It's LiquidRet.